Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I'm Crypto Kip, and today we got an update for you. We're going to talk a little bit about the craziness that's been going on in these crypto markets. We'll give you a little update on crypto.com coin versus Bitcoin. That chart's looking a little bit wild. We got to explore that a little bit. But most importantly, the Fed came out today, and today and tomorrow, actually, they're going to be speaking a little bit more, but they spoke in front of the Senate today. Federal Chair Jerome Powell did, and tomorrow in front of the Congress. And the markets moved in a wild way on account of that news. We got to talk a little bit about regulation, some of these crypto banks that have been hitting the headlines lately, and a recent deal that was approved for Binance we'll talk about alongside some courts coming after the SEC in an interesting kind of way. So quite a bit to cover, and we'll go over all of it. We'll give you guys a little fresh update. Glad to be on another stream. Welcome, everybody. And of course, it wouldn't be a live stream here at the Crypto Report without my partner in crime, Blacksea. How you doing, my brother?
Doing great. Happy to be here as always, guys. Lots of exciting movement in the charts because of good old Papa Jerome. Likes to play with the market, play with our feelings a little bit. But all in all, everything's going to be all right, guys.
That's right. Papa Powell is playing the games, but you know what? It's a game he has no choice to play, and it was a very, very interesting hearing. We'll talk a little bit more about it, but obviously what everybody's wondering right now is what the heck's going on with these charts and where are we at in this crypto market. So as always, guys, we'll start it off. We'll look at these charts. We'll see where we're at and kind of get the vibe for how Blacksea and I have been feeling today, given some of this news. Nazar, Crowbro, Ed, Simona, Samuel, Chef Benny. Good to have everybody in the chat. Let's get into it, guys. Smash up the like button. Subscribe to the channel. These live streams every Tuesday, Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, guys. The overall market cap right now, 1.013. And can I just brag for a second here about what we've been talking about on the channel, guys? Because we have been preaching about this $1 trillion threshold. And look at this action. We said there is a strong possibility that we will be dancing on the floor. That is the $1 trillion market cap for crypto, possibly a few times before we move back up. That being said, here we are. You look at the chart today, and bada bing, bada boom, it is making its way back down. There's no guarantee we get down there, but Blacksea, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, we've been talking about it. Look at where we are. What are you expecting given the recent news?
I'm going to be honest. I think that based on we've been talking about it, you really have pointed the spotlight on the $1 trillion market cap for cryptocurrency, and I will say that it is quite the magnet. We are definitely being pulled towards it when we go a little bit above 1 trillion, we go a little bit below 1 trillion, especially around the $1.06 billion mark. That is sticking out to me. But I will say that I wouldn't be surprised if we stick around that area between a trillion to 1.1 trillion, maybe even 900 billion for the next year, guys. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we stuck around that level.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a complete year, but obviously it could be a long time. I mean, you look historically, why do we talk so much about this $1 trillion level? Well, it's an important number, 1 trillion. It's a mental number. It's a mental barrier. We saw previously we were at a $3 trillion level for crypto. Bear market comes, and now we're trying to get out of the bear market. But look at this is the last year, and you can see for almost 3/4 of this entire last year, we came down to the $1 trillion level, broke below it, came back above it, and have just been dancing. What you see here is the FTX collapse, which is arguably the only reason we came as low below this level that we did. This $1 trillion level is here. It's here, and really what we talk about on the channel is, we do believe that this was the bottom. We believe that this FTX collapse was the bottom because I don't think we would have gone this low if it wasn't for this FTX fallout, and now you see the Silvergate stuff. But we're back to the trillion, and now for us to dance around this level and kind of forget the past that was this dip here, I don't think it's too far out of the question. And what that means for us is what a beautiful buying opportunity, right?
Spot on. That's the beautiful thing about it, guys. If you're patient, and I keep saying this in all of my videos that I've been making, I've been saying, if you're listening right now if you're here right now, you guys are going to be really, really, really happy. Just pat yourself on the back if you're listening right now, because in the next 2 years, the next couple of years, you're going to be so happy and grateful that you were here right now when the FOMO has not kicked in yet.
100%. Because if you look at it and it's like, okay, you ask yourself, were you making the most money you could have made in crypto if you were buying it here at these peaks, right, in 2017, 2018? Or did you make the most money when you bought it here, when it was dead and everybody was over it? And that's this right here. This right here is where we are right now. And arguably, guys, you know, there's just going to be a lot of sideways action. Look at how sideways this thing went for, what is this? I'm going to look from August of 2018 all the way until 2020 of about August. That's 2 full years, basically, of relatively sideways action. Of course, if you bought here and you sold here, that's like a 2x right there, right? I mean, it's about a 2x. But we're not here for 2x's, guys. We're watching these videos right now. We are looking into crypto. We are studying the charts in a bear market. But you could say it's a bear market. I like to call this the accumulation phase. I feel like the absolute bear market is this when it's dying, right? And I think it was dying, and then it died, and now we're here. And people think it's dead, but it's really very much alive, at least within the community. And these times, if you're buying in these times, this is when generational wealth is made. If you're buying here, you're making money as long as you sell, right? But if you buy here and you sell anywhere up here, that's generational wealth if you've been dedicated to the cause. I mean,
I want to point something out here. You know, guys, it is very important that you're here right now, you're listening now, that you're buying right now. You'll be very, very happy. But I will say that now is the time where we chop around, where we go up and down in short motions. Maybe if we take a step back to last week, we traded in a $40 price range for about a week straight, guys. That is absolutely insane when it comes to Bitcoin. Be prepared for that. You will be rewarded for being patient. Don't get stopped out. Don't panic sell. Don't think, oh my gosh, this is never going back up again. Because there is a chance that for the next year, maybe even a little bit more, give or take a couple months, maybe a little bit less, that we trade in a very, very tight level where we chop around, maybe even only a 5% to 2% range. Keep that in mind, guys. Be patient. You will be rewarded.
That's totally true. And then, of course, there could be those opportunities where you just get, and we'll look at this, but if you look on the right side of the screen here, you know, one of these silly drops out of nowhere, right? And just with a spritz of volatility and then just patient sideways action. Why? Because when you look at the analytics right now and you see, do me a favor, guys, in your spare time, in your free time, go to Google, type in Google Trends and look at the search term Bitcoin and crypto and look at the chart. And if you look at that chart, you will see that people right now, you, me, your friends, well, not you and me because we're here, right? But the people that used to be talking about crypto that aren't anymore, they're all gone. The chart is dying. The chart of actual activity of people talking about crypto, followers following crypto influencers, subscribers coming to YouTube channels, people seeking this content is increasingly less and less. And what that tells me is those are the people that are here, that are watching these videos, looking at the charts when all the other action's dying. You are buying the blood in the streets. This is the best time historically to be buying these cryptos. We know it. That's why we're here. And that's why with all the news that's going on, we're just shrugging it off. But look at the last 7 days. A couple coins are up. Sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got like 12 coins here. Everything else is red. Everything else is red. But what does that mean? Just a buying opportunity, guys. You look at the 24 hours. There's some big movers today, right? There's always some action going on. Last hour, Bone, Shiba Inu, get excited for Shibarium. So there's little trades, opportunities, but really the main strategy that Blacksea and I preach here on the channel is just dollar cost averaging into the well-researched projects that you've been looking into over time. And don't get worked up. I mean, this is the last 7-day snapshot. We don't like to look at lines. We usually like candles, but this line is, actually really great to look at because get an idea of how things can fall off a cliff. And this is where leverage trading can be extremely dangerous. Now, on the other side of that coin, let's say you knew that Bitcoin was exhausted here and you wanted to short Bitcoin here. You wanted to short some crypto. You could have made a lot of money on a short like that. And then we were just sideways trading. And so looking for these resistances, trading from the top of resistance down to the bottom or from the bottom to a top, that's where the trades are. These are dangerous areas right here, where you're kind of out. There's kind of no man's land. I'm not seeing a lot of activity in the leverage trading right now. If you guys are interested in any of that, there's links for you guys in the description down below. Free money when you sign up, but be careful because clearly what happened here, this was a huge long squeeze. Everybody that was long in Bitcoin and crypto got squeezed out here. Not everybody, but a huge number. I think it was $218 million worth of longs were wrecked on a moment like this. So, sideways action is what we're going to anticipate. I'm totally with you, Blacksea. But then we also got to acknowledge the short squeezes and this is a long squeeze, and the short squeezes that may be coming along the way too, which are arguably very fun to watch as long as you're not on the wrong end of that trade, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. It is something important. We also need to be looking at open interest, which basically shows how interested exchanges are in allowing the liquidity to form for long and short positions. And I will say that there will come a time where if the liquidity dries up, there won't be that many long squeezes and short squeezes. There won't be that much. But, the attention on the crypto market is what I really want to hammer home is the attention on the crypto market right now is declining, which is just the more that happens, the more ripe the opportunity is to be buying. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. And I love the chat here. It's going. I see these names in the chat. Francisco, who's got a loaded lion and who's ready for main city? I am, my friend. I am so ready for the main city. I know a lot of Crow fam out in the chat is ready as well. Those are some of the things that bring hype back, right? These are some of the events that can get people excited again, draw them back into crypto. And we need more things like this to get people excited. And really, at the end of the day, guys, it comes down to bull markets and bear markets and the Bitcoin halvening. And that's really what we're looking at. But the little bit helps, every little thing that comes out, whether it's a partnership with the UFC for crypto.com or the metaverse that's launching for crypto.com here in Q2, all these little bits help spread awareness about where you can go to buy crypto. And then people can find crypto.com University and learn more about crypto. And then they can learn more about some of the influencers that are teaching about crypto. These are the times where I love that you're talking about it, Francisco, because those loaded lions are cheap right now. Those loaded lions are the lowest I've seen them probably since they first launched. I think. I mean, these things are the $1,400 floor. We're giving away a loaded lion on the channel when we hit 25,000 subscribers. So subscribe, by the way, guys, if you haven't done so already. But we bought that lion at $2,000 for the lion, and it's currently valued at $1,400. But guys, come that bull market, I wouldn't be surprised if loaded lion floor price was no less than, I think it has to be more than $4,000 a pop. I mean, on the low end, I think. But we'll have to see. Blacksea, what are your thoughts on there? I mean, there's a lot that goes into that, right? The metaverse has to be successful, of course, but NFTs, there's still some juice left in those engines, right?
I would like to say, and I think NFTs, I usually say that DeFi is for the bear market, but I will also say that NFTs definitely can thrive in a bear market because people are bored and it's fun to trade JPEGs around. It's fun. But now let's talk about main city and lower lions price. I will say that I do believe leading into the loaded lion main city launch, the more info we get, you're going to see the hype start to come back. I've seen other projects do a better job with that, leading into announcements and creating the hype. AKA one of my favorite projects. I'm not sponsored by them at all, but this is one of my favorite projects, which is Claynosaurs on Solana. They do a fantastic job at keeping the hype up. They're coming out with a game. Would love to see loaded lions learn just a fraction from what they're doing right now, because I think that you would be seeing the Low Lions NFT floor price being maybe even at all-time highs right now. But leading closer and closer into these games, the more there's announcements, the more communication there is with the community, the more you're going to see the hype, the higher you're going to see the floor price go. It's as simple as that. It's just constantly increasing that hype, keeping people interested, keeping people happy.
It's totally true, and I'll back it. I mean, I don't have any Clanosaurs myself. I feel like I missed the boat on that one. It really has been a successful project, and what they are doing is great. I mean, the constant leak of new information to keep people excited has been great, and I will give Loaded Lions a little bit of credit. In the last 2 weeks, they have been attempting to do that more, which is great to see. Clearly, they have a lot to learn about NFTs. That being said, I still think that the Loaded Lion is the CryptoPunk, if you will, of the crypto.com platform, right? You look at Ethereum and it's CryptoPunks. Now you look at Cronos and you look at crypto.com, and the first thing I think of is Loaded Lion. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and we'll talk a little bit more about the giveaway here in a bit. But in the meantime, we had a lot of volatility today, folks. A lot of volatility indeed. And why? It is because of Federal Chair Jerome Powell. And by the way, I got to give a shout out to Texas Crypto. I see you DCA'd into 15K Crow. Beautiful buy at a beautiful price. I mean, 7-cent Crow. We get back to $1. Congratulations. That's almost a 20x. So I love to see that. The DCAing is key, guys, whether it's Crow, whether it's Bitcoin, even when we get this crazy volatility that we're getting because of things like this. Fed Powell was pressed today in front of the Senate on banking climate. The climate? He's the Fed Chair Powell getting climate questions, crypto regulations, which was very interesting, all during the Senate testimony. This was an extremely interesting meeting that he came out today and had, and I watched quite a bit of it. Admittedly, I didn't watch the entire thing, but I did see some exchanges, and why are they talking a little bit about the climate and banking? Well, why? It's because the people that were interviewing the Fed chair, they have a political agenda, to be honest with you. And it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. They're trying to kind of push their issues to the forefront. The Fed has almost nothing to do with the climate, really. I mean, you could draw some lines, yeah. They've got almost nothing to do with the climate. And the fact that you had politicians that were questioning him on the climate is laughable. Really what this was a dog and pony show. And they pressed Federal Chair Jerome Powell coming right after this PCE data, which was not so good. And unfortunately today then, he did come out with some statements, some good ones and some bad ones, right? Some of the good ones are, hey, we don't want to strangle crypto innovation. This is a huge thing. And it's not the exact quote. They kind of misquote him here. We'll get into that. And some of the bad ones are, it does look like he might get a little more hawkish than we had initially anticipated. And we'll talk about some of the numbers in a second. But Blacksea, I think you put out a great tweet earlier. I can't recollect what the statement was, but you have that kind of off the top of your head?
Yeah, basically, long story short, the biggest takeaway that I got from watching him speak at Capitol Hill today was that he said he said that he wants that they are going to be increasing the rates more than they wanted to, which is definitely very, very hawkish. That was not verbatim, but that is basically what he was saying. The biggest takeaway was that, and I will say that that's not something we want to hear. I'll be honest with you. That's not something we want to hear at all, because earlier on this year, we were told of, hey, things are looking up, guys. We were hearing lots of dovish talk. And to hear him kind of pivot, I almost feel like he was kind of backed into a corner. And you were spot on, Crypto Kip. I mean, it really was a dog and pony show. And I feel like it didn't have anything to do with the Federal Reserve and the policy, even though that's like what it was titled as. I feel like it had nothing to do with that. It was just the politicians like showing face and being like, oh yeah, but this problem. And Jerome Powell was just kind of sitting there. It was really bizarre. He's like, yeah, we try not to get involved in policy. It's like, yeah, his job is to make sure the economy is healthy, which was very, very strange in my opinion. I mean, not really strange. Just what else? I don't really expect much more out of televised events as what we witnessed today.
Right.
But I do say, all in all, the biggest takeaway is that unfortunately, there was some hawkish talk that he said that they think that they're going to have to raise rates higher than they anticipated, which is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. And we talked a little bit about this. And by the way, shout out Oscar Ramos. Thanks for joining us on the stream, brother. Great crypto influencer out there as well. But guys, this was a dog and pony show. Blacksea, you and I were talking about this earlier. And, it just highlights the point that this is a mess. You look at what, I'm just going to use Senator Elizabeth Warren. Everybody knows her name. You look at the interaction between Senator Elizabeth Warren and Federal Chair Jerome Powell, and she was talking at him instead of asking him questions. He was there to answer questions, but instead she took an opportunity to talk at him and had all the things that she wanted to say laid out. Regardless of what his answer was, she was going to arrive at a destination. And the destination that she arrived to, and this was the one thing that stood out to me, is like, perhaps, she said at the end, perhaps we need a different Fed chair. In other words, she said, I hate you, Jerome, and I want you to lose your job, and we want to replace you because we think you're doing a bad job. Well, very, very interesting to see that right now. And I think one of the reasons you're going to see that probably more on the Democratic side right now is because they're trying to retain the White House, right? They're trying to retain the power right now. I mean, kind of Democrats are the elected officials, if you will. And so what they want to see is a strong economy. Well, unfortunately, the economy is not looking very strong on account of the inflation. And what they're trying to do is kind of pin it on the Fed. And well, the Fed is certainly responsible in a way. There's a lot of factors that go into this, and also let's backtrack and let's see who is cheering people on to turn that money printer on. Who is cheering the Fed on to print that money? Blacksea, you got any guesses?
Well, let's hear it. What do you think, Crypto Kip?
It was the politicians. They were trying to gain favor with the people. That's all it was. And again, guys, I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. That's not what this is about. The game is politicians, the Fed versus the people. It's not party oriented, right? It's just a game of pin the tail on the donkey. And in this case, they're trying to pin the tail on Federal Chair Jerome Powell, sweep the problems under the rug so that they can kind of get what they want in a political fashion. And really, it's such a mess. It's such a mess.
Like I was saying, really the biggest thing I pulled out of it when Jerome wasn't talking, the questions that were being asked, is basically they were just trying to show, the politicians were trying to show face and say, hey, we know there's a lot of problems, but it's not our fault. Jerome, why is it like this? It was very, very interesting, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to watch. I love it. It's fun. It's interesting. It's why we do the channel is because we love to follow this stuff, guys. I mean, and at the end of the day, I'm kind of laughing, right? It's we know crypto's here, and you look at this dog and pony show, and you look at the politics that get involved with it, and at the end of the day, the money printer, the Fed fund rates, it's the raising the interest rates, it's the, all these different things. It's just pulling levers to try to create some fake system to prop up the economy, which is a problem, right? The dollar is inflationary by nature, and the Fed is trying to squash that. Why don't we just have something that works better than the dollar? Why don't we just use crypto? Why don't we use Bitcoin, which is deflationary? It's highlighting the reasons why crypto is so valuable. And that is exactly why you see these statements from Federal Chair Jerome Powell, because even he has to admit in some capacity. Now, he doesn't fully admit that crypto's the future or that crypto's coming and you can't stop it. It doesn't quite go that way, but he does say, look at this quote, we don't want to strangle crypto innovation, but the sector is a mess. And guys, you can't ignore that the FTX collapse happened. It doesn't look great, right? But here's some quotes. We've seen just a remarkable set of events in the crypto space, Jerome said, noting that there's been quite a lot of turmoil. FTX, you look at the Silvergate scandal, sure. We see in crypto activity lots of things that suggest regulated financial institutions should be quite cautious. So he wants people to be cautious. But he also says statements that basically he's bullish on it. There was another quote in here that was really great where, here you go. We have to be open to the idea that somewhere in there, talking about crypto, there is a technology that can be featured in a productive innovation that makes people's lives better. Banking the unbanked, having something that's not an inflationary asset, a deflationary asset in nature. He does not want to stifle innovation. This is huge. This is huge.
I was just going to say that is actually really, really big to see Jerome Powell coming out and talking about crypto in that way. He's got to pander to both sides by saying, "Oh, there's a mess going on in there, but it could also change the world for the better." He's just playing both sides, but it's really awesome to see this. That he's recognized that.
I was so excited.
The federal chairman is recognizing that crypto has a massive innovation that can make a lot of people's lives better. Like that's a mic drop. Like that is having him say that as a mic drop, saying this could make people's lives better is massive.
It was so good, and nobody's talking about this, which blows my mind. But we had to talk about it here in the channel. I think this is huge. I think I put it in the title here for the video because this is something that people need to focus on. This is interesting to see. And Francisco, great question. When will we see a live between Crypto Kip, Blacksea, and Oscar? Hey, we're ready to go. Oscar, if you're out in the chat, man, connect with us. Let's do it. Let's get on another live stream. We'd love to talk with you again. We've done some videos with Oscar in the past. Absolutely great content creator. Love to collaborate with anybody in the crypto community, guys. Let us know if that's something you want to see. We'd love to do it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Always open for that. Always a blast.
So what happens next? The Fed spoke today. Well, what do we got? Well, you saw the markets move. Why? Because what you're looking at is a total flip in what everybody expected. Us as well. We have been talking about how we expect a 0.25% interest rate hike in the next upcoming FOMC meeting, which is coming, I think, March 22nd. You can see it right here, March 22nd. Okay? And what you're looking at, guys, is there is now a 69.8% chance that we're going to get a 0.5% interest rate hike versus a 30% chance that we are going to get a 0.25 interest rate hike. This is an actual flip of what it looked like not only like a week or two ago. It was absolutely opposite. Everybody was expecting a 0.25% interest rate hike, but there's a couple things that went into this. Why did these numbers change? One, the PCE data that came out, which is the Fed's preferred measurement tool for inflation, which was not very great. We still got to see more of that data. And two, the grilling that happened for Fed Chair Jerome Powell here in front of the public changed everybody to this, really, I want to say bearish. It's hawkish and bearish are kind of the same thing right now, to be honest with you. So more consolidation sideways, slight downward action. Again, the $1 trillion market cap level is very important. I do expect that we touch it. Nothing's guaranteed. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin also touch the bottom of this resistance we drew out a while ago at 21,500, possibly lower. I would expect a bounce off this level, but we'll have to see. I would expect a bounce off the $1 trillion level, and I would expect a bounce off this 21.5 region for Bitcoin. But we'll have to see. And really, at the end of the day, is this something to panic about? No. Why? We just went over.
I think that it's important that we look at these levels because really, the 21,600, I've been saying this for a while. As long as we don't break below 21,600, we're still consolidating. And to be frank, as long as we don't break below 19,500, then we're still in a very safe consolidation level. And I do believe that we have bottomed out. Now, if we do come below 19,500, then we're going to have to look at the other levels that we have. But as of right now, if 21,600 holds, guys, this is just bullish continuation and consolidation.
Yeah, I mean, Blacksea, let me ask you though. Do you think, it's hard to say. I mean, do you think we can get a bounce off this level?
I would say yes, but I definitely am curious that now that Jerome came out and talked today, I think that there's going to be a little bit more of we didn't get a sell-off today. So let me walk you guys through my thought process behind this. We didn't get a big sell-off today after Jerome talking about just the hawkish talk. We didn't get a big sell-off. We really didn't. So that tells me that maybe there's a good chance that we don't have a sell off when he comes out and says, "Oh, there's going to be a 0.5 rate point hike now." Maybe we don't. Maybe it's priced in. It's really, really hard to say, but I definitely feel a little bit more of a bearish sentiment. However, it's not nearly as drastic as I would have thought it would be.
Checking it out. Hey, let me know if that bug went away, guys. I think my internet got a little strange for the stream. I apologize about that. Thanks for hanging in there. Let me know if that got a little bit better in the chat when you see it. But I do agree with you, Blacksea. I mean, guys, we're going to keep you up to date with all of this here on the channel. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what happens today, tomorrow, over the next 2-3 weeks. If you're really here and you're trying to make money in crypto, you got to be looking at minimum 365 days for reason number one, long-term capital gains tax. That's number one. Number two is this is a consolidation era of crypto. It is sideways trading action. What a buying opportunity. And let's take a peek here at CRO right now as well. I want to take a peek here at the CRO chart versus Bitcoin. We've been talking a lot about this on the channel as well. As you can see, we are dipping a little bit lower right now. Kind of in a big way right now for crypto. For CRO Coin versus Bitcoin. But this is kind of right within what we've been talking about on the channel, guys. Do expect the altcoins to bleed a little bit more versus Bitcoin here in the short to midterm. Because again, these altcoins are going to come flying in an altcoin season, which comes when? After Bitcoin has its fun, right? We got to wait for this moment, and really it happens in a matter of 2-3 weeks, 15 weeks here across a bear market, right? It's going to be a pretty short window of time that these altcoins are going to fly in a big way against Bitcoin. They'll be going up versus the US dollar, but against Bitcoin, there's a specific time where they have their turn against Bitcoin.
Yeah. We're definitely looking for that 40. Well, personally, I'm looking for a 44% Bitcoin dominance level to pull some liquidity out of the altcoins for a little while. So you will see CRO Coin and your other favorite altcoins bleed against Bitcoin. You will see that. But after Bitcoin makes its move up with its Bitcoin dominance level increasing, and we get a little bit of sideways trading action with that Bitcoin dominance level, we will see the altcoins rally. Then we'll have a true altcoin season. You'll get the 10, the 20, the 30, and 100 X's on some of these coins. So keep that in mind, guys. Don't be alarmed if you see some of your altcoins bleeding against Bitcoin.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of money opportunities. 100 X's will be there, guys. That will come. Can it happen for CRO? Maybe. Absolutely. I mean, why not, right? It could certainly happen for CRO. But definitely more opportunities in the lower cap altcoins. And when are we going to get big moves? Well, we get the biggest moves, guys, when there's large liquidations events. You saw over the last 7 days that we did come down in a big way. I'm sorry about the lag, guys. I got to check out my internet after this here. I apologize, everybody. I'll get that taken care of for the next stream. Thanks for the heads up, fam. I much appreciate it. But these are the big moves, right? We get a liquidation event and boom, it shoots down in a hurry. Or we get a big liquidation event for the shorts. That's what you see here. Almost $500 million worth of shorts were liquidated back in January of 2023. That's why Bitcoin went up by 40%. So we'll keep an eye on this. And today we went down a little bit. Why? Well, more longs were liquidated, right? So we don't want to be greedy, guys. We got to keep an eye on some of that. And, we'll keep an eye on the channel. Good chance, March, hey, we're down right now. Maybe we're a little bit red. Maybe we're trading a little bit sideways. We'll keep an eye on this for you guys. But there are a couple things you got to keep in mind right now. There's articles coming out like this. Crypto startups are scrambling to find banks after the Silvergate meltdown. Well, frankly, if you're a crypto startup and FTX collapsed and all these other companies collapsed and you're a bank and you're going to give out a loan, or you're going to start banking with a new partner, a startup, it's a key word here, startup. If I was a bank, I would be hesitant to help a crypto startup too right now, given where the industry's at. And so this is startups, guys. This is not KuCoin. This is not Binance. This is not crypto.com. Those exchanges are doing just fine. But if you're new, I would imagine that it might be a little bit difficult to enter the space Absolutely. Blacksea, I mean, what are your thoughts on that real quick?
Yeah, I think that it makes sense, but to be quite frank, I think right now, if you are a crypto startup, this is probably arguably the best time to have a crypto startup and the best time to be building. And it's important to be there before the bull market actually comes as a crypto company because you'll be much more respected and you won't look like a money grab.
Yep. Yep. In other good news too, Binance US can officially move ahead. This is great to see. With the Voyager deal, a judge has come in and said, forget this SEC conversation about how Binance US shouldn't be able to buy Voyager. That actually came into fruition on a day after, there was this article from the Wall Street Journal text about crypto giant Binance to reveal plan to elude US authorities. FUD, guys. It's FUD. But what I want to highlight for you real quick is Binance exploded onto the crypto scene in 2017 and grew into the world's biggest digital currency exchange. It quickly ran into the problem. What that problem was is that they opened a lot of locations very quick, and when authorities signaled a crackdown, they basically, pulled the rug out of the U.S. and said, hey, anybody that's using a VPN can still use this, but we're not officially providing our services to the U.S. And, there were actually conversations going on about some of these other countries that Binance got into, right? Because they flew into a lot of these countries without some proper regulation, and that puts some questions into play. Now, I'm not trying to FUD Binance, but I am trying to highlight something that I think is great for crypto.com. They are moving into these countries in a proper way, and they are a leader in regulatory compliance, getting into these new countries the right way, the first time, consistently. And I think Binance is going to have to answer to some of this FUD that people are throwing at them with regulatory compliance in some of these countries they're working in. Meanwhile, crypto.com just kind of scooting along and growing its user base and might be one of the key players in bringing the next billion users into crypto. Blacksea, you saw a little bit about that Binance story.
Yeah, FUD. That's all it is. FUD. It's relentless. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until I think probably after the Bitcoin halving, and then you'll still see more FUD, but you'll see FUD just sprinkled in with the really bullish articles to get everybody hyped up.
Yeah.
The media is a tool for big investors, guys. Keep that in mind. The media is a tool for big investors, not only to make money, but to take your money.
Yeah, and if you're able to get the word out, you're going to have success, whether that's people trying to push the market down because they're shorting it, or whether it's crypto.com advertising during this huge UFC event and spreading the word about crypto.com and how big this exchange is and how big it's going to be in the next bull market, spreading the word about their crypto token, which is one of the reasons I'm very bullish on it. As the FUD comes out about Binance, you start to research it, realize that it's FUD, realize that some of it's fake, and also understand that hey, maybe they jumped into these countries because they were the first exchange of their kind. You got to cut them a little bit of a break, right? I mean, you're going to jump into a whole new asset class. Cryptocurrency is brand new. They're developing a company. They're going into these countries. They're the pioneer, right? And so you're going to burn your hand a little bit maybe when you touch the stove because it's hot, right? But then you're going to learn and you're going to figure it out and you're going to understand, okay, I don't want to touch the hot stove. In fact, I need to get regulatory licensing before I jump into a new country and do things the right way. And I think crypto.com kind of watched some of this play out with Binance and has since, gotten the proper regulation that they need. And then on top of it, they've got all these marketing events. This UFC event is very cool to see. A lot of reasons to be bullish on CRO, even though it's going down in value versus Bitcoin right now. It's just, how we go right now in this consolidation phase. Some other good news, guys. U.S. court is questioning the SEC's rejection of the Grayscale Bitcoin fund. This is great to see. We want to see the SEC continue to get questioned by the court. We had the win for Binance US versus the SEC. Now you got U.S. court questioning SEC's rejection of Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF, which arguably could be one of the biggest events for crypto, right?
I've been talking about this for a while, and I think it's been kind of a talk of when Grayscale Bitcoin spot ETF gets passed. That's basically the green light for all the pension funds and basically the green light of the government saying, okay, guys, Bitcoin's a thing. It's going to be here. You can use it. Go ahead. And that honestly could be the beginning of mass adoption.
It's going to be billions and billions, if not trillions of dollars. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Let me know, guys, too, if that stream straightened out a little bit. I'm sorry about that earlier, having an issue. I got a new modem, so we're kind of dealing with that, folks. But overall, guys, we are looking at this opportunity, and I just need to stress to you, patience is key. It takes a while for these things to move up in a big way, and those that are patient will get what's coming, and what's coming, a heck of a lot of upside for this asset class, guys. I'm not expecting anything crazy until 2024, and it could be anywhere from March of 2024, right after the halving, to what I most likely expect to be very exciting is maybe May. I don't know. What about you, Blacksea? What's the month you think? It's so hard to say. We're just guessing, guys. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But let's have some fun. What do you think it might be?
What, the peak of the next bull run?
Well, no, just like when will we get, I guess, see this leg right here? Boom. When do we get a blast off moment that it's not just like a 10K Bitcoin candle?
Let's say leading into the fall of 2024.
Fall. Okay, so a little bit later. And you know what? That might be true too, because yeah, I mean, we're still seeing the Silvergate fallout, all the conversations. We're waiting for regulation to come, and the government moves slow. So, yeah, I mean, guys, but the name of the game here is whether it's March, April, or fall, 2024 is when it should really start. And so, in the meantime, make some money, guys. Dollar cost average into the projects you know and love, the ones you believe in, guys. And inevitably, we'll get back up to these orange bands, at least maybe the red. Who knows? We'll have to see how it goes. The better the regulation is, the more. Hey, if that Bitcoin ETF gets approved, I would not be surprised if we broke out above this red band, to be honest with you. If we really get a Bitcoin ETF and it's approved and it's in a big way and regulation comes in, this could be, it's never good to say this time is different, but that could be the time that's different. I mean, that would be a full green light, which is what Blacksea and I are so excited for, guys. Yeah, well said, Nazar. 2023, the year of accumulation. Well said, Nazar. Guys, we're giving away a loaded line at 25,000 subscribers, so check that out. Follow us at _crypto report to enter that giveaway. If you do become a member on the channel, not only do you get an additional 10 entries for every single month you're a member on the channel, like Texas, like Nazar, like Benny Blue Eyes, like all the fam that's in the chat. Let's go, Crow. Slay Maven, miss you, brother. I know you're working hard out there. But you guys also will get access to our private Discord as well, where you can talk directly with Blacksea and me. If you want to become a member, all you got to do is go in the link in the description down below. There's a quick and easy link for you there. And if you go to our YouTube page, you can see right here, you get loyalty badges, just like the boys in the chat, along with the custom emojis during these live streams that you can smash up. Texas, smash up some of those emojis. Nazar, show some of those emojis, brother man, to show them what they get when they do become a part of this awesome community, guys. Blacksea, Tuesday, it's a little early in the week. We got another live stream later on. Anything else you want to leave out there for the Crow fam as we kind of move into this?
Yeah, I do. I want to say also, guys, if you do become a member, you get access to our private Discord. And on top of that, I did in that private Discord give away the NFT alpha for Claynosaurs. So if you would have followed that, you would have made a good position. You would have made some money on that. So there's lots of opportunities. Would love to have you check out our membership and join. It's a blast to talk with one of you.
A lot of opportunities to come, guys. We are having a blast doing this. Times are hard for crypto influencers and crypto investors, but guys, we press on, we move forward because we know the future is crypto. And hey, seems like Fed Chair Jerome Powell knows it too. So we'll have to see, guys. That's all we got. I'm Crypto Kip. This is the Crypto Report. Don't forget to smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, folks, you got to remember to DCA HODL. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you next time. Peace.